Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games. Here we have Josh on a spicy mono black Death Shadow build. Love seeing these budget lists doing so well versus the Mog Fanatic with a Mystic Forge combo. Of course, the One Ring, absolute bomb thrown into Legacy. The deck's trying to figure out what's the best way to utilize it, and this is certainly one of them. Tony Scaponi also having some fun with a mono blue build. Now, Serum Powder has milled through like half of his deck here, leaving him with a 5-card hand. Rim Monolith. We see the One Ring flickering around in his hand. And, oh, brutal. That is taken. If there was a key in there, this would be a very different situation. He would have been able to land a turn 1 ring. Instead, just has a ton of mana. Pulling cards off the top of the deck. We'll see how that fares versus Josh's draw. On the upside, doesn't have a lot of cards to be discarded. City of Traders. What do we have here? Like 10 mana? We got like 10 mana to play with. Anything he draws is live. City of Traders, no help, just replaces the other one. Now, this Death Shadow build, certainly worth talking about the differences between this and your regular or more traditional builds of shocks and fetches. This is running Agadeem's Awakening to lower the life total, along with a ton of other black cards. Happily trade life for cards. Was the card that got that One Ring out of there. Often gets reanimated in these lists. A Grief, Cave Troll. Full set of reanimates. Yeah, so much mana for Mog. Torark right now is just chipping away 2 at a time, which is not how you draw it up. It's unlikely that he's going to have any other cards to be able to get out of Andy's hand. He's just going to be able to keep playing anything he draws. A mono white on that card. Totally relevant. I mean, this build, just at a quick glance, it looks to me like Swords to Plowshares is the absolute most brutal card for it. Now, you do have Thoughtseize and Grief, which can potentially take care of that card. You know, if it's in the opener. So much, man. You could practically hardcast a Gristlebrand. I'm not going to add it up, but it's pretty close. 9, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. 4 is 15. Yeah, you could hardcast Gristlebrand. Or, sorry, Emrakul. 15 colorless mana available for Mog. Yeah, this is just a beatdown. So is a Mull to 5, and Grief really punishes that, as does Thoughtseize. Death Shadow has shown up. Oh, and look at this. He actually dismembers his own Grief and then reanimates it just to ballast that final chunk of life. Close the door right now. So Josh not giving Mog another draw step. I mean, it could have been a One Ring. Things could get totally out of hand from there, so heads up play, literally killing his own creature and bringing it back just to get rid of the extra life. I'll have the play here. We'll see if he has better luck with his opener. Looks like he's actually going to keep on 7. Yeah, that last one was quite a lot of mulliganing. Probably do a video on how Serum Powder works. Diamond, Mox Opal, Lotus Petal. Other Mox Opal. To a Karn. Just Emrakul in hand. Wow, I must have heard me talking about it in the last game. But just Emrakul in hand. Karn on the first turn. So with 1 more mana, we might see Karn grabbing Mycosynth Lattice and just completely locking the game out. Dark Ritual into a Thoughtseize, grabbing the Emrakul. Thoughtseize significantly worse when your opponent plays all but one card on the first turn. And Orcish Bowmasters, so that complicates things. Karn can't actually just grab the Mycosynth Lattice now, as the Bowmasters will kind of mop things up. We got a Reader, Mishra's Research Desk. So 1 mana to cast, 1 mana to activate. You're going to exile the top 2 of your library. Choose one of them, and until the end of your next turn, you can play that card also on Earths. So this card can get a lot of use with Karn. Does put cards into exile, which Karn can grab. Self, after unearthing, gets exiled. But there's often better things to grab. Not gonna lie. Very often you can just grab cards that straight up win the game. And a whole bunch of cards here. Considered. Lion's Eye Diamond. Just the way that the game has evolved has become progressively better. Casting cards from exile or the graveyard. While you can't use the Lion's Eye in announcing the spell, you can just float the mana beforehand. Cast the card. Very, very similar to Black Lotus in that regard. Of course, with Echo of Aeons, card kind of simulates playing with Black Lotus and Time Twister. Josh, looks like he went face there. Yeah, he went face. Not worried about the Karn. The single Urza's Saga not looking amazing. I mean, I guess it's fine. It'll go get a key. So there is that. At least it turns back on the Grim Monolith and the Mox Opal. So I take it back. Sorry, Urza's Saga. You're amazing. Didn't get to make any bodies. It does, in fact, unlock. And, oh yeah, here we go. Snaring Bridge. So, I don't know what Josh has that'll actually clear an Ensnaring Bridge off the board. It is an artifact, something that Black doesn't excel at dealing with. Most of the time when you're blowing up opposing artifacts, it's using artifacts of some sort, which Karn would actually shut off. And yeah, that's doesn't have an answer to it. So we're on to the next one. Ensnaring Bridge, something both players need to be mindful of there. Josh really signaling he has absolutely no outs to Ensnaring Bridge, so Mog may be able to just take a line straight for that if he can get his hand low enough. Probably agree with the scooping, just because I don't think there's a believable bluff in terms of cards that would handle the Ensnaring Bridge. I was playing a multicolored deck that could believably have an answer. Even if I was cold to it, I might still play several turns just to give my opponent the expectation that I might top deck something to get out of it, and that might affect how they play moving forward. Mishra's Research Desk and Mox Opal. Gosh, Dark Ritual and options. Cycling the Cave Troll. Good all match so far. Ooh, Null Rod. Wow. Null Rod and Reanimate on the Cave Troll. What an explosive first turn. Null Rod just all you could hope for against a deck like this. I mean, the whole deck is basically artifacts. At this point, it's really all in on this Urza's Saga. At least it's still a game, and that's a testament to how strong Urza's Saga is. This is going to go away, find a trinket. Not going to be usable underneath Null Rod in all likelihood. No, a Manifold Key. These constructs right now, 5/5s, 6/6s, so they could double block and take out the Cave Troll. Oh, I didn't even notice that Death Shadow sneak in there. So focused on Mog's side of the board. So yeah, this is a really tough spot. That City of Traders as your only land. That's a rough one. And I guess he's just hoping to draw more and more artifacts and get the constructs big enough. As it is right now, one will trade with a troll. Death Shadow big enough to trade with the other. Gothy Voidwalker. Is it going to force the issue? This is like 5 turns. It's just going to be able to turn sideways. Can't actually hold back the aggression. That Shadow, it'll just sneak past any amount of defenses for the most part. Yeah, it's bigger. Get some bigger constructs. But I don't think this is going to work out at all. This just looks like a double block. Both constructs going away. Because they're 7/7s. The Death Shadow is a 7/7, so it trades with one. The other one takes 6 damage, then dies to state-based effects. So even though it was a 7/7 when it entered into combat, it still ends up taking the 6 and dying afterwards. Now there's a pair of Dothies. This is 2 turns. It's like that. One more turn and it'll be over, and Mog extends the hand. So Mono Black, man, has some sideboard options there with Null Rod. That card just not what you want to see when you're playing Mystic Forge combo. Thank you for watching. For more magic from ELD's Time Vault games, be sure to subscribe and check out more videos just for you over here.